Thanks for your support as a channel member, Shaz Danks. Well, folks, we suspected it might happen today. We're going to be kicking today's episode off with the first job offer I've received in Non-League to Legend this year. If you are enjoying the series so far, though, please make sure you do leave that nice big thumbs up on there. If we can get to 3,000 likes for transfer special / potential job switch, that would be awesome. Thanks for your support. Hello and welcome to part 20 of Non-League to Legend. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, I don't really know yet. It could go one of many ways. Just to give you a quick recap on what's happened since you were last with me. As you can see, it's now the 5th of June. I've spent the month since what happened yesterday sulking. We got our new transfer budget through. As you'd expect, there isn't one. More excitingly, though, they've added a load of money to the wage budget. So we've got nearly £14,000 a week for wage budget against a wage budget last season of £9,000. So there is the potential to add players in the right positions to be able to do something pretty cool here at King's Lynn. And I am excited by it. And there's a couple of players, or quite a few players, in fact, who are going to be leaving us. I've decided not to renew the contracts of Flat, Macaulay, Marriott, Kennedy, Fryatt. They're all going to be leaving. Obviously, we've got the loans that we need to decide whether we want to keep them. The ones that are keepable, which I guess is only Fleming. When's his contract with Hull actually up? So potentially, if we could get Fleming on loan for another year, that would be a signing and a half. We'll have a look into that. It's a lot of money to bring him back for another year, especially because I'm tempted to switch the formation up a little bit because. I mean, we all saw what happened with the diamond, not the diamond. That's what I'm thinking of doing. We all saw what happened with the 5 at the back, the wing back system, after Sports Interactive kindly released an update midweek. It killed my wing backs and it ruined my tiki taka, and I'm officially blaming them for us not getting promoted. If the patch had been delayed by 3 or 4 days, I think we'd be a League 2 team now. But I need to decide what we're going to be doing tactically and then try and build players to fit into that. So that's a normal transfer window, which we'll get to. But first, I did mention I've had my first job offer, which I assume I'm turning down, which is why I'm not rushing straight to it. I'm currently earning £800 a week at King's Lynn, and I've got a contract for another year. The offer has come in from Gateshead, who are the division below. They're insecure finances. I think I'm just going to say, you know what, Gateshead? I'm not even going to interview, because why would I want to drop down a division to a mid-table team from the division that we won comfortably last year? They're not going to be able to pay me enough money because they're insecure, so we're going to decline that. There are a few other jobs knocking about the place. There's nothing really suitable for me, I don't think. There's nothing that I'm desperate to go and apply for. If we have a little look through, I mean, Tottenham, Chelsea, maybe. Roberto Mancini's probably the favourite for those, though, so I guess maybe not those. Morton up in Scotland could be an interesting... I guess that's an interesting little step up, but equally, I don't think they're going to be able to pay the amount of money that I would need to move to Greenock or Morton, whichever is the place. Perhaps Greenock, Morton is the place. I ain't moving all the way up there unless they give me like £2,000 a week, and they ain't giving me £2,000 a week. Milan, I don't think I'm leaving. Is the real headline there. I think we are going to be doing at least starting the new season with King's Lynn and seeing how we get on. If we have a look at Club Vision as it stands at the moment. Has this changed yet? I don't think it has, actually. I don't think this has ticked over to the new season's expectations just yet. The key thing is they've backed me, or they are backing me, with a whole load of extra money, and they're looking for... Oh, they've adjusted that to reach the playoffs end of next season. I think that was mid-table before, but so we have to hit the playoffs again, but they are backing me to go and do it. Apparently I'm not playing enough attacking football. Sure, we're playing positive, or whatever it's called. Is it called positive? Yeah, positive. That's as attacking as you're going to get out of me. Let's clear this squad off and start from scratch. Start with a blank drawing board for the new season. I'm not going to be making any signings probably before the 1st of July because we want to see what Premier League youngsters we've got available like we did last summer. But I probably do need to make a decision about these loans. Fleming, I think, has been a super important player for us this year. He can play as an out-and-out full-back as well. So I think whatever system we're going to be using next year, Brandon Fleming can be a part of it. So £750 a week, that seems about right. I don't really want to propose playing time if I don't have to. Here we go. So hopefully we'll get Fleming on loan again. Mail, I think we need to do better than him. Flamey, we know we can't get. Charlie Carter, I think we're probably done with Charlie Carter. Presumably his contract is up anyway with Stevenage. I think we can probably do better than him. He might end up coming back permanently after all that. And Charlie Kelman, again, I think we can do better than him. I don't think we need to be bringing him back for another season. So just Fleming for now. And if he does come back, that puts our committed spending to £7,000 a week. So we've still got half of it to play with. But obviously, quite a lot of positions we need to strengthen. We're not going to have any backups at centre-back at all. We're only going to have one goalkeeper at the club. We're only going to have George Danaher will be the only striker at the club. So there's going to be some significant business that we need to get involved in. We are scouting actively at the moment and taking lots of trialists in. And really just trying to build up as many options on our scouted player page as we possibly can for when we get around to the 1st of July and contracts start to expire. As a Posh fan, the idea of signing Serhat Tasdemir appeals to me, but he's in a position that we're actually already quite strong. So potentially a bit of a frivolous signing that we don't need to be doing. Loan. See, that's far too much money. We're not paying anybody £1,500, especially in a position we don't really need to strengthen. Connor Stanley's still knocking around the place. Job offer number 2, potentially a little more interesting. Shamrock Rovers over in the Irish Premier Division. Is this Irish or Northern Irish? It would help if it told me up there. Republic of Ireland. So that league plays in the summer, doesn't it? So does that mean this is ongoing now, or do they not play in the summer anymore? Schedule. No, we are... What? So we'd be halfway through the season. So we'd literally be joining them right now, halfway through the season. They're a 2-star reputation club. We're a 1-star reputation club. It is a step up. One of the reasons the board have decided to offer you an interview is because they feel you would be an acceptable fit for the club's vision. Oh, I'm an acceptable fit. Oh, don't flirt with me too much, Shamrock Rovers. I'm acceptable, am I? This is mainly as a result of my strong commitment to signing first-team players and blah, blah, blah. Are they going to offer me enough money? Because, again, if I'm moving to Ireland, I'm going to need to double my salary because it's a kerfuffle. I'm at the interview, apparently. It would be quite a change for you to leave your current job to come here. Are you confident of handling such a big jump? Is it such a big jump? I'm ambitious. Why have you found it so hard to control your club's finances? I'm Kev. I think I have handled them fairly well. Previously embroiled in media controversies. What? How? When has that happened? I want to say, when has that happened? I don't think it matters what's happened in the past. I'm focusing on the future. Exactly. Because it didn't happen. The club would be looking for a candidate capable of performing to competition expectations. Yeah, that's what I do. The club is looking to hire a manager comfortable working with limited resources. That's what I do. We've been performing largely as expected and we're on our best run of the season. Could you take us to the next level? Yeah, why have you not got a manager? Where's your manager gone? Can I work under Director of Football Stephen McPhail? Yeah, okay. Is he the fellow who used to play for Leeds? What size budget? I'd like a budget to... I'd require a small budget to allow me to make some modifications. I would like that. So, this is what they... See, I've not done this as part of an interview before. So, club culture, sign young players, don't sign old players. Easy peasy. Work within the wage budget. Minimum 2-year contracts, maximum 1-year contract. Okay. So similar 5-year plan to what we're on now. They'd want mid-table this season. They're currently mid-table halfway through the season. Don't care about the cup. They want to win the league next season, and then continue to win the league every year. No pressure then. What did I just do? What did I just do? I don't know what I just did. Where's their current manager gone? Shane Keegan, sacked. Oh, no. So they finished fourth. So they're in decline. I mean, I don't know if I walked out on that interview partway through or what, or whether I've accepted the job. I don't understand what's going on. Where are they on here? Shamrock Rovers. I'm not the favourite. I'm competing with Chris Houghton. For goodness sake. How am I even at that interview? That's mad. We'll see what happens, I guess. Being offered another interview, this time at Fylde, and I don't think I'm interested in attending interviews for clubs in the same division as me. I think if I was going to leave, I'd want to leave for bigger and better things. That being said, I don't know who's got relegated from League Two. If Salford were to offer me an interview, or Macclesfield maybe, more likely Salford because of all the money, although they're insecure apparently. But they do have Carl Piergiani, former Posh player, in their team, so I'd probably go there, but I don't think there's anyone else in this division that I'd go to. So Fylde, where are you? No thank you. Can we have either no more offers or an offer from a really big club? Either of them would be good at this point. I don't know that this meets either criteria. Greenock Morton finished third in League One, having been relegated from the Championship last year. Another 2-star reputation team, so it's going to be another step up. But similar to going to Ireland, like I said before, if I'm going up to Scotland, I'm going to need a big pay rise. It's not like just moving down the road in England. It's moving to a whole different country. I've never been to Scotland in my life. Do you have to go across the sea to get there? We have very little manager. You have very little. You've got very little managerial experience, Crawford Ray. What kind of name? Your name's wrong way round, you idiot. Ugh. How dare he? I believe there's more important thing. I'm just going to be rude because his name's the wrong way round and he's offended me with that first question. You've done some highly. Oh, there you go, buttering me up now. Yeah, I think I have taken. I don't think I've taken them as far as we can. I think we can get promoted this year if I stay. It'll be quite a change for you if you to leave your current job to come here. Am I confident of making such a big jump? Yes, I am. Would I agree that my handling of media has been mediocre at best? I mean, to be fair, my assistant manager does it all. The media are amongst the least of our concerns. I think I've handled the club finances fairly well. You can tell I'm not that desperate to get these jobs. You've previously been involved in media controversies. No, I haven't. That happened in the past. Don't care. The club would be looking for a candidate capable of performing. Yes, I'm good at that. Our previous manager didn't have the best relationship with the supporters. Yes, I can be. The supporters will love me. So they want a few more bits and pieces. So what are they actually looking for? End of next season, get promoted by winning the league. So they're looking for instant promotion. Where did they finish? Third. That's not outside the realms of possibility, I'm sure. Do you literally just click continue from here? There's nothing else I'm supposed to click. This screen feels broken and wrong. Here's the club's current vision, which will be expected to work towards if successful interview. We'd be keen to hear your thoughts. But where? How do I? Oh, it's at the bottom there. So I did just walk out of the other interview. I don't think I'm going to Ireland. That all seems acceptable to me. Yeah, that's fine. I just left the other interview partway through. I understand. Let's move on and cover it. Yeah, I don't need to make any requests. There you go. At least I made it to the end of that interview. How am I still in the running for that other job? If they give me the job now, that shows me I'm real good. Will Forrester, I don't care about players leaving Kings Lynn, who were here on trial. One piece of transfer news that has happened. Brandon Fleming has extended his loan for another year, so he's going to be here till the end of next season, which, as previously mentioned, puts us up to $7,000 a week on our committed spending, and we're just waiting for the 1st of July to start bringing in some Premier League youngsters again, like we did last year. Well, it looks like I'm not going to be going to Greenock Morton. Still no news coming out of Ireland. Oh, in fact, they've given the job to someone else. I never finished the interview. Wow, that could have been... Imagine there's now an alternate universe where I lead them to Irish Premier League glory this season. As it is, looking down that list, I think it's pretty clear I'm at least going to be spending the summer here at Kings Lynn, because there's not going to be anybody getting sacked on the 22nd of June. So I think we're good for now. Whether we'll make it through next season, because I suspect anybody getting sacked in the bottom half of League Two next season, these kind of clubs here are all going to be having a little look, especially if we start next season well. But to be honest, I'd rather go to one of them than go and manage in an unfamiliar league in a faraway land anyway. I'm not bitter. His name was the wrong way round. Well, we've made it through to the 1st of July, and this is what our squad now looks like if we just get this down to just the first teams. In fact, before we do that, let's just check in with the 2 channel member players and just see how they've got on over the course of the last year. Nathan Curry, he is on the loan list, as you can see, developed up to, Nathan, anyone who watched Home last year, Nathan, I think it's happening again. And then Marius Hegley should be around somewhere. Has he moved up to the under-23s? He has. A little bit more progress out of him. Become a 1-star current ability player, 3-star potential ability, also on the loan list. There's a chance he might make it. Currently, 3rd best striker at the club, but that's more to do with the fact that we don't really have any other players. If you want to have your name in the game, have a look down, click the join button down below. Have a look at the options on there. You have the option to become a name in the game as part of the series. Right, this is it. This is our first team squad. That's what, 12, 15 players maybe? We have 1 goalkeeper. We have our 3 centre-backs. We've offered new contracts to Bernard and Odemeo. They're both wanted by league clubs, though, so we need to keep an eye on that. But we've offered them both new deals. We've got our 2 right wing-backs, Clark and Davis. Davis, obviously, also plays in midfield and is wanted by league clubs. We've got our 2 left wing-backs, Kenyon and Fleming. We've got our 2 central midfielders, Payne, Parsons. Can't believe no one's after Payne, but I'm not going to complain about that at all. And obviously Davis providing cover in there as well. Aaron Sibia and McAneff as attacking midfielders. Aaron Sibia probably more as a cover player in that position, and then George Danaher as the only striker at the club, but he's here on a non-contract and lots of clubs want him, so he might be leaving as well. My job now is to go and find a bunch of Premier League youngsters to fill that out. My director of football has gone 1 step ahead of me and has already made an offer for one of them, Charlie Wellens, who's just been released by Manchester United. He's probably a player I would have been looking at anyway. He's already offered him a contract. He's a natural up front and in attacking midfield. I'm just going to leave him to it. He's made some terrible offers recently. He tried to sign this guy, which I nipped in the bud straight away. There was another ageing forward who wasn't very good he tried to sign. I'm just cancelling them off. I only leave him able to make offers because he brings in good loans. But every now and again, something good happens. And as long as we're not offering him crazy money, which is the one worry, because I can't actually see what we're up to there. But as you can see, he's wanted by 34 different clubs. If we manage to get Charlie Wellens, that would be awesome. Let's go get some youngsters in on trial. Right, we've got as many loan players in as my board would let me have. They limited me to 30, the monsters. So we need to get through these ones quickly, bin them off, the ones that we don't want, and get the next batch in. So we don't necessarily have to finish the squad off in one go this time round. I have a couple of different tactical plans in mind for next year. Obviously, we're going to keep training the tiki-taka. It's worked for 2 years. It might start working again with the right players in it. So that's my primary goal, fill those positions. But also, we're looking at a control possession system with a holding midfield player in and some wide players, which will involve bringing in some wide players, and then a more counter-attacking system with a good old non-league 4-4-2 for those more difficult away games, which again is going to involve bringing in some wide players. So we've got quite a lot that we need. But if we head to the squad depth screen to have a look at the players who are in, priority number 1 has got to be strikers. So striker number 1, Arthur Ganua. No, I don't know if I can sign him because I can't say his name. What's he been up to recently? Not scoring goals for Macclesfield, but not scoring them in the Football League, which I guess is nice. Has been scoring for Yeovil down at our level. I don't know that I want to sign a 28-year-old Club Vision. Can we sign 28-year-olds? There's nothing on there saying we can't sign old men. He's just not really my kind of player. I want youngsters. I mean, how much are we going to have to pay an old man like him? Yeah, not interested. Too much money. We'll find better strikers than that, I hope, or else we're going to have serious problems. Looking a little bit further back, I'm not rushing to sign anybody here. McAneff is very good. We've got Wellens, who my director of football is trying to bring in, so I think we're good there. But central midfield, it would be nice to have maybe one extra body in there to go with Payne and Davis. Martin Smith is a 25-year-old central midfielder who I'm pretty confident I've signed before in Football Manager. The name sounds familiar, and how likely is it that I've had two different players called Smith over the years? Seems unthinkable. He's been playing for Salford-ish, but in the Football League. I like the look of Martin Smith. At 25, how expensive are you going to be, Martin? This is going to be the problem. You're wanting too much money. I want youngsters. Are you a youngster? Diallo. Sadou Diallo, 21-year-old Ghanaian from Wolves. This is what I'm after. Youngsters released by Premier League teams, because they tend not to want a lot of money. Plus, they have potential to get better. So this might be my kind of player. That's what we're after. Get rid of the signing on fee. We don't need any of this nonsense down around these parts. Get rid of that and see if we can. There you go. Now you're talking. Right, I'm going to have a rummage through and try and find some more gems like him. And then, like I say, bin off what we've got here and go again. There's maybe one defender. Maybe a goalkeeper there as well. But not as I would say slim pickings to start this summer off compared to what we had last year. Particularly worried about the lack of decent strikers. Connor Carty. See, Kingstonian. That doesn't fill me with confidence. We need strikers desperately. Right, first set of trialists gone, apart from the ones that I'm keen to keep. I'm leaning more towards this system the longer I struggle to find a striker. So I've brought in a lot more strikers. I still haven't signed anyone permanently yet. But as you can see, a lot of strikers have arrived, including this guy. He's here on trial. I'm not... I can't bring him back again. But that shows what we're up against. He's the second best we've been able to find. But Christian Norton, who is 20 years old, from Southampton. If we can get this guy reasonably cheap, this seems like a no-brainer. This is the kind of player we're after. It's not cheap, but let's try and knock him down a little bit. What's all these bonuses he's after? Let's try and bump him down as far as we can. Can we knock that out? Upset his agent. Oh, okay. £1,000 a week is a lot, but I need to try on him a little bit longer first. But if he's at the top end of some of these ranges, that's going to be spectacular. Let's hope he is. Well, first wave of transfers complete. We didn't get everyone we wanted. Wellens, for example, ended up going to TNS for not a lot of money. I suspect we probably didn't offer him enough. I hope he wasn't going to end up being the answer for us, because I feel like we probably could have got him if I'd have been in control of the negotiations. And if my director of football hadn't have jumped in early, he definitely would have been the ones in on trial, so we could have a proper look at him and decide to make a proper offer. I'm not bitter. But we have brought a lot of players in. We are still within our budgets, which is a bit of a novelty for me. And these are the transfers that we've done. So quite a lot of players in, but I think they all fit the criteria. They're all young, they're all talented, they've all got lots of potential, and they all fit into this new system that we're looking for. I'm not sure. I have signed 3 strikers. I still don't know that we've got our 30-goal a season man now amongst them. But then we are changing up the system, so perhaps that's not what we need. We did set a record, by the way, for most goals by a team in a season. Or we scored more goals than anyone else in the National League last year. It wasn't a record, but despite not having an out-and-out goal scorer, we got a lot of goals from a lot of positions. So, signing number 1, Saxon Early, 18-year-old winger, 3-star current ability, 5-star potential ability, continues the... we basically got a shuttle service like what you get at airports, just between Norwich's back door where they're releasing players. We just shuttle them straight down to us. Saxon Early, another one of those, didn't want any money, bless him. Just pay me if you play me. All right, Saxon, come on, in you come. Easton, how do we say his name? 18-year-old Welsh under-19 international right back, or can play anywhere in a kind of zigzag shape across the pitch. 3.5-star current ability, 5-star potential ability, comes in as our new best right back in a flat back four on a free transfer from Manchester United. Davis, in my mind, is now a midfield player. The fact he can play wing back as well, we ain't playing wing backs, doesn't matter. Clark is going to need to learn to play full back, which he can't really do. We did bring in 2 right backs, so poor old Clark, despite having a good season. The patch ruined him. Wing backs don't work anymore, I've decided. Next signing, Levi Lang, is a new centre-back, 18-year-old, 3-star current ability, 5-star potential ability. Comes in to slot in alongside Odemeo, Bernard, Smith. We probably do need one more centre-back because we've only really got those 4. He comes in on a free transfer from Arsenal. Josh Martin is a winger. We've signed some wingers. If only we'd have started doing this the year before, we could have had Connor Stanley in. But this guy can play on either wing, out-and-out winger on that side, or as an inside forward on that side. I will no doubt use him in both of those roles throughout the season. 20 years old, 3.5-star current ability, 5-star potential ability. Comes in as the best winger we've got on both sides. Another one who's come in from Norwich. And we had to give that one money, but the conveyor belt from Norwich to Kings Lynn continues. Daniel Grimshaw is our new goalkeeper, 23 years old, 3.5-star current ability, 4.5-star potential ability, much better than Brad Watkins, and we know how good that means he is because Brad Watkins is a hero. Comes in on a free transfer from Manchester City, potential to be a League 2 goalkeeper in the future, which is exactly what we're looking for. We want to get promoted this year and take Daniel Grimshaw with us. Jordan Darty is a 20-year-old Irish under-21 international, primarily defensive midfielder to play at the base of the midfield in our new system. Can also play central midfield or centre-back as well. 3-star current ability, 5-star potential ability. Another one who could potentially make it all the way to League One. He comes in as our best defensive midfielder. It's a position we probably need to strengthen with maybe one more. He comes in on a free from Sheffield United. Christian Norton is the striker that we were looking at. The most expensive player we've brought in. He's only got 8 finishing, but, he's a striker. We don't need to worry about his finishing. What I like about him is the fact that he's quick and he's pressing forward and he's going to be a nuisance and he's going to work hard and he's going to run around a lot. And if he scores a few goals as well, then lovely. But he's got 3.5-star current ability, 5-star potential ability, very, very quick, which is what I was looking for in a striker. Could become a League One player in the future, could probably end up playing out wide in the future as well. 5'10" and super quick. His crossing's even worse than his finishing, but we'll cross that. But he's got a nice first touch. He just doesn't do anything with it once he's got it. Watch him be a star now. Another striker, Kayendra Simmons, can play as a striker, albeit as a false 9. He can play as an attacking midfielder. He can play on either wing. Lots of attacking options with Kayendra Simmons. 3.5-star current ability, 5-star potential ability. He's up there as a striker, as good as Norton. He comes in, another one from Manchester City. We've got another conveyor belt coming from Manchester. We just load the United and the City players on and drive them down to us as well. Joe Hardy is the old man of the new signings, 22 years old, basically a granddad in Kings Lynn terms, as in Kings Lynn terms in the Save the Club. I'm not besmirching the great town of Kings Lynn, suggesting that you have 22-year-old granddads there. Goodness me. He's a striker, just a striker. That's what he does. He's going to be there to score goals. 3-star current ability, so not as good as Norton or Simmons, but a little bit older. Still has the potential to end up as good as them, maybe. And a bit more experience. He's never played a game of football, but comes from Brentford, or comes from Man City via Brentford, we'll say. Been at Brentford for years, though. And lastly, this one really excited me because Posh were in for him as well, and he chose to come to us rather than go to Posh, which I think is really cool. Marcel Lavinia, 20-year-old Portuguese youngster. He's mainly a right back, but can also play left back, can play centre back, can play in midfield, can play wing back, can play on the wing. just lots and lots of positioning stuff. 6 feet tall as well, which I always like. 3.5-star current ability, 5-star potential ability. He's probably not going to be a first choice anywhere, but he's going to be a very useful defensive utility man to have around, which is really handy at this level. Could end up being a League One right back in the future as well, but provides decent cover for Fleming and Kenyon at left back. Decent-ish cover for the 4 centre-backs we've got. And I mean, really, if we're playing a flat-back 4 centre-backs is probably plenty, with Doherty and Lavinia both able to play there if need be. But the main area he's going to be offering competition is with Hughes at right-back, or if we do switch back to a wing-back system, with Clark and Davis as someone who can play as a wing-back in that position of the system. Sentence just went away there. Lost the ability to talk. So if we swing back over to our team report and have a look at the squad depth, we've still got some trialists in, but let's try to ignore them. We've got Norton and Simmons as options as striker. In fact, I'm going to get rid of the trialists, and then we'll look at that in a second. Allow 24 hours to pass. So trialists now moved on, and this is what we've got in our new system. So there's still a few areas we need to strengthen, and we need to work on positions and actually build the tactic as well. It's literally just the one fresh out of the box at the moment. So there's a few bits we need to tweak, which we'll do once we decide who's playing where. But as strikers, we've got 3 proper options: Norton, Simmons and Hardy. McAneff, poor old McAneff. I mean, he's going to be useful cover in these kind of positions, but he's probably not going to play very many games this year. He is under contract until the end of the season. It might be worth looking to loan him out, or maybe move him on, or maybe he'll force his way into the squad in another position, and we might end up switching the system. Who knows? If we can't bring in a real top quality left winger, he might end up playing on the left wing for us anyway. On the right hand side, we've got Martin. Aaron Sibia can play out wide on either side. If you remember, that's what I originally signed him to do way back when, and he's since spent the last 2 years as a backup attacking midfielder, but now he's got the chance to shine again playing out wide. Clark can also play up there, so we talked about him needing a new position. He's accomplished at right back, but can also play up on the right wing as well, so we probably need to make a decision about which one of those we're going to get him training to do. He's not much of a tackler, is he? Arguably maybe a little bit better going forward, so we'll figure out what to do with James Clark, but he is another one who's under contract till the end of the season. Was a good player for us last year, so it'd be a shame to drop him out of the squad completely, but we need to find a little home for him. On the left-hand side, Aaron Sibia again. Martin, although he's mainly going to play on the right, probably. Simmons, who's one of our strikers who can play out there. And this is what I'm looking for from a lot of our players, the ability to play in multiple positions, because we are going to be working on a relatively small squad. The fact that you've got players who can provide cover in different places is very handy. Kenyon, another example of that, who can play up on the left wing if need be. Central midfield, we've got Payne, Parsons, Davis. We probably need one more body in there. There were a couple we were looking to bring in that kind of fell through. Hughes can play there, but not well enough to show up on this screen just yet. So probably another central midfielder and another left winger would be handy. Certainly another defensive midfielder. We've got Doherty who can play there at the moment. I don't really want Lavinia or Smith having to play there. So ideally we get a guy who's like a 4-star defensive midfielder who's also natural in central midfield and can provide cover for both. That would be spot on. I'll give £1,000 a week to that man if he exists. And then at left back, Fleming and Kenyon as usual. Right back, Hughes and Lavinia. And then centre back, Odemayo, Bernard, Smith. Lavinia's knocking around in there as well. Doherty's knocking around in there as well. We've got the new guy as well who must have got into the under-23s, whose name I can't remember. It begins with L. We'll dig him out and stick him into the proper squad as well. And then Grimshaw and Watkins in goal. So money-wise, we've got about another £900 to spend. We haven't really got started on any loans yet. What we do need is a defensive midfielder who can play in central midfield. I mean, this guy probably... I said I'd give £1,000 a week to the guy who can do it. Jordan Houghton was here on trial. He probably is the exact guy who can do it. He's been playing in League One last season. The problem is I've probably upset him by messing around with him before. I mean, he's not going to want to sign for us on that kind of money, is he? We'll try, but he's just going to say no. Oh, hello. That's going to be the problem. Yeah. We'll keep looking. Maybe we take this guy on loan. And then left wing. Is there anyone in the left wing? He was too expensive. We already looked at him. He would have been lovely, but wanted absolutely tons of money. A ridiculous amount of money. Plus, I don't think Bromley wanted a fee. In fact, yeah, he's not even under contract with them. Come on, for goodness sake. Why do you want so much money? What's that about? I can't really offer him that kind of money at the moment because we've got players there. It's more important that we get some cover in central midfield. Turn into a pirate now. The other thing, of course, the good old ask the director of football option. And we'll say central midfield as well. And then left wing as well. And then get all those guys in on trial. And then, of course, do the same thing looking for loans. Who have we got as potential loans that we could bring in these positions? Ideally for no money, because we don't really want to be spending money on loans if we can avoid it. But try and get some of this lot in, maybe. The search continues. Well, we've done our last couple of bits of business. If we have a little look, we've signed Martin Smith, who was here right at the start of the window. Didn't think we were going to get, but in the end, the fact that he can play as that defensive midfield player, there wasn't any better options around. And the fact that he's got Football League experience. Yes, he's a little bit older than what I'd normally want to sign, but we managed to get him to take a pay cut. So he is in. And then arguably signing of the summer, Alex Myton, coming in on loan from Nottingham Forest, 19-year-old England under-19 international winger, can play either side, left wing, right wing, natural at both. He's right-footed, so he can cut inside from that left wing as an inverted winger or an inside forward. He can play as a proper winger on that side. 4.5-star current ability, and is only going to get better as the season goes on. Potential to be a Premier League winger in the future. We've got him on loan for the year. Unbelievably, was on loan at Carlisle last year and they never played him. I don't want you thinking this is a director of football loan. This is a Kev loan. I was looking for wingers. There were a couple I identified. I actually wanted the other one more, but couldn't get him. So hopefully this one ends up being awesome. We are now over our spensies. There are a couple of players who I'm thinking of maybe trying to move on as a result of that. James Clark being one, if we're really committing to this 4-3-3 system. Clark doesn't really fit into it at all. Aaron Sibia, again, doesn't really fit in. McAneff doesn't really fit in. So there are a few players we could potentially look to be moving on. But I'm not going to panic just yet, because if we go to the club vision, they're happy that I'm on course to work within the budget this year. So if they're happy that that's not too far over the budget, I'm happy to leave it there. So I think that is the completion of our transfer business for the summer. And you'll find out how the new look team gets on tomorrow when we face Yeovil and Boreham Wood to start off the new season. Just to give you a little bit of context as well, the media prediction for the season, 3rd place. That seems fair. We finished 2nd last year. Salford are going to be the team to beat. They've just come down from League 2 and have basically filled up the media Dream 11 with their players. So Salford, big team, big players. They've knocked Alfie Payne out of the media Dream 11. Fleming's still in there, and Myton now in there, but no room for Alfie Payne in the media 11 anymore, which is unacceptable to me. With Salford coming in with their fancy Football League players coming to ruin our day. But we should be there or thereabouts. Remember, the board are looking for a playoff finish. And most importantly, I didn't get offered a job that tempted me away from Kings Lynn this summer. So we start season 3 with Kings Lynn. When was the last time I went to a 3rd season on the first club of non-league to legend? Answers on a postcard if you want, or just down in the comments if it's easier than getting a postcard. I guess if you live at the seaside, postcard might be easier. If you've enjoyed that video, though, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Remember, we're looking for 3,000 likes today. We did a transfer window in the end, and I didn't leave. That's worth likes. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos, and thank you very much for watching.